Here is what it looks like when you neatly organize all of your stuff into an Excel spreadsheet. I'm going to show you how to do this automatically with just a few lines of code, because most Godot games have a lot of resources as a way to manage objects and spawn stuff and to just create your game. So it's always nice to have a nice overview of that pretty easily and fully automatic, which you can sort by like numbers or by whatever you want. You could even make changes in here and re-import them into the game. So it's just flexible, it's nice. Let's get to work. So I have a little example project here with a resource that is called a plant. Now resources, as you probably know, have a lot of export variables, which is how you are going to customize these. So in the resource folder here, you can see I made 4 different plants, and if you double click on it, all of the export variables show up in the inspector and you can set them. So we have a sunflower with ID 0, cost 5, health 100, speed 1.5, and it grows faster in the sun as its info. Now I also made a tulip, a magnolia, and a rose. I don't know how accurate all of this is. I don't know much about plants or flowers, but you know, feel free to correct me, whatever. It's a good example, okay? Now we have all these resources and we want to basically export a few values of these into an Excel spreadsheet. So here is the main script that we're going to do it in. First of all, you usually have your data packed somewhere in a variable. Very often games like these have dynamic loading systems, so it just looks in a folder, looks at all the resources you have and puts them into an array or a dictionary. So that way in your game you can instantiate them at runtime, duplicate them, you can manage your resources. But I'm going to cheat a little bit because I don't want to implement that. This tutorial is just about how to export resources and properties into an Excel. So I just put the preloads into this plants array. So right now, if I run the project, well, nothing is going to visually happen. But if you look here in the remote tab, this is our project that's running right now. And our root node has the plants member or property that holds our 4 little plant objects. Important to note as well, the plants array I statically typed as an array of the resource plant. This is very useful. I recommend you always do this, so that way Godot knows that this plant holds a bunch of plant resources. And why that's useful, you will see in a second. But let's get started. I'm just going to put this into the ready function, so it launches as soon as the project goes up, but I would prefer putting this into its separate function that you can call at any time. There's also many different ways to write this more dynamically, more customizable, so you can choose which properties you want or all of the properties. I'm just going to show you the simplest way to do this if you quickly want an Excel spreadsheet of some random stuff that you have in your game. But if you want a more in-depth tutorial, let me know. We're going to start with a variable that is going to be the plants data. This is just going to be a packed string array. The reason why is because if you save to a CSV file, which is what we will be using in order to be able to export it into Excel, they require packed string arrays. This is basically just an array, but that bundles strings and is a bit more efficient at that. And because it's an array, we're going to open it. And what do I want from my plant? So the plant has a bunch of properties. I'm only going to select a few. Let's say I want the ID, probably the name, in that order. So I'm flipping the order. That's completely fine. Let's say I also want the health. Oh, that was a terrible typo. And let's say I want the info. And there we go. So now my packed string array holds these 4. These are going to be the headers. So this is just going to appear at the top, and then it gives me a nice breakdown of what's underneath it to follow. So there we go. That's our plant data. We're now going to open a file. So var file is file access dot open, and you can place it wherever you want. I'm just going to put it in the project folder itself, and I'll call it plants data.csv. So as I said before, we're using a CSV file, which stands for comma separated values, I'm pretty sure. This can easily be like added into an Excel, and it just formats the table for you, makes it fully automatic. You can also edit this as a text file, so it's pretty versatile. And of course, we're gonna do file access dot write there. But we're gonna be writing our headers now, our first row. Every time you write to this file, it's gonna be a new row. So if you do file.csv, you will see there is get and store CSV line. We do store CSV line, and I'm just gonna put our plants data in first. And so now we have ID, name, health, info. If I execute this, that will just basically be the file. But we want our plants data in there. So now we're going to loop over our plants. So for plants in plants. And I don't need to statically type this because it knows that plants just hold plant resources. So if we type plants dot now, you can see it autofills for us all of the properties of the plant. So that's why static typing is useful. It knows that this plant is a plant. I hope that what I'm saying makes sense. It might be a bit confusing, but anyway, we have our plants now. So I want to do file.store CSV line once again. And now we need a packed string array. So I'm just going to open this to make it a bit more readable. And then we need to put our data in. So as I said, these need packed string arrays. So we're just going to open an array here and put all of the values in that we want. So plant.id, plant.name, plant.health, and plant.info. Okay, it bothers me there's no space here. So there we go. This is all of our stuff. And this should in theory work. These are not strings, but because this expects a packed string array, it's gonna try and manipulate these into strings. So the digit 0 just turns into a string. And that's it. Then we can do file.close and we have our CSV file. If I run this now, you are going to see nothing happening right away. But in our project now is our CSV file. And because Godot sees CSV files as translations, it's also gonna try and put these as translation files. Actually, I would not recommend putting this into your project. Just put this anywhere else. But I put it in my project, so also if you open, you can see what happens. You can see it is a comma separated value. So this is the first row, and then the columns are separated by the commas. One thing I do prefer doing is instead of commas, using a different thing. So I'm gonna add another delimiter here. Delimiter is basically what it puts in between, and I try to use this thing. I don't know what the English word is, but the reason why is because the plant.info, the info that I write, could have commas, and if any of these values here have a comma, it messes up the structure of your CSV file. So I prefer something different. It's completely fine. You can change your import settings in Excel. I need to remember to also do that here. So after the packed array, I'm going to change the delimiter also to this symbol, because otherwise the headers don't match everything else. And now if I run this, it is going to recreate the CSV file, but with this instead of commas, so I can use commas in the info text. Nice. Okay. Next step, we're almost there. So here's the plans.csv file in my project folder. If I open it, it's going to open in Excel and it's going to look a little bit strange. As you can see, it works. It put it all into separate columns, but there's no formatting yet. And I don't want to do this myself. So what I prefer doing is actually, you just create a new blank Excel file. And then when you go to data and from text CSV, you can import from a CSV file directly. So in here, we're now going to select the file from our project. Then it's gonna try and format it for you. So it's gonna see if there's some sort of structure, and there is. We define the header and it is gonna detect that as our header, and then put the values in. And I think it will also see what the delimiter is. In this case, it's a semicolon. That is the word, of course, and see which ones are like integers, which one are strings. It does that pretty well. And then you just load, and then it's gonna load it in for you. And now you have your Excel file that you can sort by numbers. You can sort by maybe the health. I want the largest first, or sort by smallest, whatever, and go from there. Now there's also the reverse, which is again, if you export this to a CSV file, you can load it into the game, so that way you can change values in here and have them directly affect the game itself. So very flexible, lots of use cases, and all you need is these few lines of code. And again, this can be simplified to even less lines, right? I like to split it up to make it look nice, to make it more readable, but in theory it's just, what is this? 6 lines of code. If you want a bit more of an in-depth look on how to make this more flexible, how to load in data, and how to use this for more use cases, let me know. Thank you for watching.